Hello, my name is Bianca, and this is my COVID-19 story. It all started in March. I was still working at my former job. I've been working for this company for a total of 3 years and a half, but when COVID-19 happened, as a production company, most of our work required producing photo shoots or video shoots and being outside in the field, like actually working with talent and other people. So obviously with the new rules to stay at home and take prevention against COVID-19, producing was not something that we were able to continue doing. My role at this point was producer. That same Saturday, after the first week working from home, my boss called me. The purpose of the call was to let me go. And I remember I was not really angry or sad. I was just really understanding of the situation. I knew at the moment that I could benefit from having time off because I was dealing with so much emotionally already, just accepting this new normal, staying at home 24/7, which is very unlike me. I like being outside. If I was even gonna worry about something, it was money really. But then as soon as I saw that I could apply for unemployment and also that there was a stimulus on top of that, it worked out pretty well. So when my roommate got laid off, she basically told me the same thing happened in her company, like every other company in New York, and she did not really feel safe or comfortable paying the rent that we were paying here. So basically she gave me her 30-day notice, and that gave me 30 days to start planning what my future was gonna look like, because even though I had good savings and even though I had a good unemployment benefit, it just was not smart to stay in this apartment with 2 bedrooms and me having to pay for it on my own. I quickly started thinking, like, should I just move or should I maybe go to Dominican Republic, because that's where I grew up and I actually have a home there where I wouldn't have to pay rent, or to go into a furnished apartment and sell everything that was in this one. That way I get some money and also I will pay less in rent. Out of all those options, the one that I preferred was just renting a 1-bedroom for myself. I really liked a specific one in Sunnyside, Queens. I applied for it and I literally had to say, like, hey, I just lost my job due to coronavirus, but I'm getting unemployment and this is what I am making weekly. That same night they got back to me and they said yes. So I was like, great, so then let's go sign the lease, right? We go into the management office, me and my parents, to sign this 1-year lease, and then when I get there, there's literally no lease. And apparently the company decided to review my application again, and they decided that they were unsure whether or not I should have this apartment. So they basically like changed their mind last minute. So it was really heartbreaking because it really would have been the easiest route. So plan B was going to Dominican Republic. You know, I bought my flight, and buying the flight gave me no problem. So I was like, I guess it's fine. I guess I can fly to Dominican Republic. Great. So I bought it and I started my online store. And that was really fascinating to see how fast everything got sold. Because you would think that because of the pandemic, people are being hesitant to like go to other people's homes, and also that people wouldn't want to buy anything that is used. But to my surprise, that wasn't the case really. If anything, I feel like the coronavirus helped me sell all of my things really fast, because all of the stores are closed. 70 or 80% of the people that came to buy stuff from here were moving into a new place. So I was like, wow, times are crazy. Everyone's just moving. So in a sense, that made me feel less alone. And so I finished selling the rest of my things by the end of May. And here I am in my empty apartment, and it feels great. It's moving day, and I'm eating ice cream. Before moving here, I was subletting in various places, but this was like my first apartment that I was able to like make my own home, and having to like wrap everything up and sell everything that I had invested in was difficult. And I feel like in that one phone call, my whole life was just crumbled and like tossed, and life was just like, you're gonna let go of everything now, and you're gonna have to be okay with that, and you're gonna start over, and it's gonna be okay, you'll figure it out, I promise. When I started contacting my friends in the Dominican Republic, all of them were telling me they're gonna make you quarantine in a specific location. So I was like, okay, what can I do to stay in New York City, at least until the Dominican Republic lifts the isolation rule? Because I was able to find basically everything that I needed, which was a furnished place, since I had already sold my furniture, that was affordable, and also it was a short lease, so I would be able to still go to DR. That was my only option at this point, because getting a brand new apartment didn't work, going to the Dominican Republic didn't work. This had to work.
Hi, Bianca. I'm working on a story for Curb New York about New Yorkers that have moved during the pandemic without seeing their apartments in person, that with only seeing it virtually. In general, I just wanted to get your perspective on how the process went.
Yeah, when I applied, they gave me a virtual tour, but they actually have a more advanced tool where they would call you online, and you would both like interact with the website to like go around the apartment. So they asked one of the tenants that was here before me. He filmed the place, so I could see like how it looked as of recently. But before I moved in, without telling anyone, I came to the neighborhood just to like explore it. I came with my parents, and we walked around, and like we made sure that it looked safe and that I liked it.
Is there a restaurant in particular that you really like that is in the neighborhood?
Oh yes, Puerto Viejo. It's Dominican. Everyone should try it.
What was the hardest part about moving during the pandemic?
Most of us are unemployed, if not everyone is unemployed. And getting approved or finding a place where the landlord will approve you is almost impossible. That's the hardest part. Just finding the place to move. Once you find it, it's gonna be almost like any other move. But finding the place is harder than ever right now. That's why most people are just going home. Another thing is the likelihood of a protest around here is very high. So we were afraid that would interfere with the move, but it didn't. Yesterday, nothing happened. Even though I've gone through so much since losing my job to having to leave the country in a few months, I've been able to be okay and like settle somewhere for the time being where I can feel relaxed and at peace. And I acknowledge that I am privileged to have that. This is such a hard time to be alive because there's so much emotional strain on everyone's life right now. If it's not because you've lost someone, it's because maybe you're battling the virus yourself, or maybe it's just because you feel really sad for the world in general. And that's a lot to take in, and you don't necessarily need to be productive during such a difficult time. But the least we can do is reflect, at least for our own emotional health, because we're all locked inside and we are all really prone to depression right now. Even maybe one of the things that you didn't have time to do before was call your friends and like tell your loved ones that you love them. So maybe you can start calling your friends or family members and like connect with them. That's also like a super healthy practice for you to stay sane and happy. So whatever it is that works for you, try to practice that because you probably need it now more than ever. And if there's anything that anyone needs, I want to offer my friendship to them, if that's even something I can do. But we're all in this together and we're all going through the same things, and just know that you're not alone. And that whatever you can do to stay happy during this time, do it. And just prioritize your needs right now. That's what I would suggest to everyone.